This is a tune that I really love. I've spoken to a few people about it and they love it equally. And it goes like this. Eit chaim hi lemachazikim bo v'tamachaye meyushar derechaye derechai noam v'chanasi v'oseya shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yamenu Chadesh Yamenu Kakedem. Lovely tune, lovely words. So what are the words? Well, it says that it is a tree of life to those who grasp it, and those uphold it are happy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Turn us back, O Lord, to you, and we will return. Renew our days of old. So this is a song that they sing when they're putting the Sefer Torah back into the Ark on a Shabbos. And it's actually one of the lines is lifted from Mishlei, Proverbs. This is a book that King Solomon wrote. So he wrote that line. I don't know if it was lifted from Psalms, but it's certainly in Mishlei, because I read it only a week or two ago. I came across it. So the wisest man in the world wrote one of the lines in his book, and it's essentially talking about the Torah being a source of life for those who reach out and take it. It's an inheritance. It's an entitlement. If they grasp it and bring it into their lives, it's pleasant. Chokhmah, the wisdom that's in there, is pleasant. That's what it says elsewhere in the Gemara. But ultimately, for anybody that's on a quest to know God, not to find him, you've got to know him. That he actually gave the Yidden a commandment to know him, not to believe in him. It doesn't say anywhere about having faith in God in the Torah. It says several places to know him, that we have an obligation to know him, right? And the way we know him is by reading the Torah, because in there we'll find him. So for those who are looking for him, that's where he is. He's in the Torah. And what we find is, for those that look at it on a very shallow level, you'll find a lovely, delightful story from the beginning of the creation of the world until the moment the Yidden crossed over into Eretz Yisrael and took possession of the land. And that's a great, wonderful story. But along that story, if you like, there are lots of examples of positive behavioral traits in which one can emulate, they can copy, and you can acquire them. And you can learn to adopt those behavioural traits, which is a positive endeavour in its own right. But there's also the commandments in there. We find in there 613 commandments. Some of them apply to men, others to women, and a big portion of them to the Cohens, to the high priests, for when the temple is re-established. We're expected to actually live according to those commandments, and a good Jew will basically do that. but nevertheless, we're not all perfect, and some of the commandments come very easy to some people, and others are very, very, very hard, almost impossible for them to achieve. And that essentially sets the benchmark or the test for them to accomplish. And if they can't, they can't, right? And they go against the instruction to complete something, and so they fail in that area. But in other areas, they succeed, and so they end up, by and large, having a balance of what they call sins, averas, and mitzvahs, good deeds, if you like. And the objective for the Jew is to have a balance of positive and negative achievements in life. Of course, ultimately, if you can achieve them all, you'll move further away. You'll be more than balanced. You'll be topping the one end. And if you see the game plan or the achievements as a scale of 0 to 10, where down the bottom end at 0 you have like an evil, wayward type individual, a rasha they call them. In the history of man, a rasha, you could say, is Hitler. Somebody down that's the extreme evil, if you like. But at the other end, right, the other far end, you've got what we call a tzaddik, somebody, a saint, somebody of a saintly nature, a tzaddik, somebody that's beyond righteous. Then in the middle is what they call the average man. That's us, Klal Yisrael, the average man, the Bain Oni, right? That's where we aim to be in the middle, with a balance of mitzvahs and sins and averas, then we're doing all right. We're doing all right. So there are times when we slip, but the objective is not to allow that avera, that sin, if you like, to hold us back down, because it can do, for days, weeks, months, even years. You know, so you commit a sin, you think, oh, what's the point? I can't achieve it. So you basically never try, and you give up, and you never go to the shul, and you never do this, you never do that, and you go off on the wrong path in life. And basically, the outcome is quite well, it's far removed from God, if you like. But the objective is to get yourself back up again, and not, you know, get on and try and do another mitzvah. Because what they say is that one mitzvah leads to another mitzvah, and an avera, a sin, leads to another sin, another avera. So that's the objective, is basically get yourself back up. Now the difference between the average man and a tzaddik is that an average man, you know, even a tzaddik, even a saint will keep falling as well. They'll fall. I think Shlomo, King Solomon, says in Mishlei that a tzaddik falls several times. Several could be many times. It could be like once a week you could fall, once a day. You know, God forbid. But they do, you know, righteous people, ordinary, average people, even though you look at them, you think, oh, they're very frum and orthodox, even they will commit an avera from time to time. But the difference between the winners and the losers, between the saint, the tzaddik, and the rasha, is that, or even a Bain Oni, the average man, is that a tzaddik will get straight back up immediately. He'll bounce back immediately and get on to do another mitzvah. Where, you know, and a Bain Oni could basically fall, and it could take several weeks for him to get back up and have another go. So the objective is to learn from the tzaddikim and basically get back up. Don't let life hold you back. You know, in the secular world, there's a song, I get knocked down, but I get up again. There ain't nothing gonna keep me down. That's another song I like. But, you know, that's the objective, is basically keep on keeping on. Don't give up. Keep on at it. You know, you feed yourself, you've quit smoking, for instance, and you've gone a whole week without a cigarette, and you just feel yourself about to go and have one. Fight it. Fight it. Punch it right in the nose. Take the cigarette and break it up and throw it on the floor. And then go and pick up a Chumash and start reading, because that will distract the consciousness, and it will help you focus on something else and take the desire for the cigarette away. Because right in the back of your mind is the Yetzer Hara, trying to get you to do what it is that you don't want to do. He's there, his objective is to kind of destroy you, ruin your life. But that's another story, and I'll save it for another video.